Hey, what's up, you guys? Yes. I'm just kidding.
Yes. We're Dust and Cat.
Hi, everybody. We are, I forgot her name.
We are two girls, no cups. So please yeet your cups out of the room.
Hi, no cup gang. We do not wear any cups or drink out of any cups.
And we will be talking about our dream man.
Yes, our dream man. I love our dream man. Yeah.
So let's get into it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. I think we have a lot to say. We have a lot to talk about. I think we have a lot of our core values that are important to us. And I think we also have advice prepared on how to find that dream man and what to do while we're waiting for that dream man.
Yeah.
So, all right. Our dream man. Our dream man. I feel like I can't even picture that.
A dream man?
Yeah, because maybe that comes with my trauma, but I low-key, maybe I don't really know if I believe in that.
Oh, anymore? No.
Yeah.
You know what? I rebuke it.
I don't know, just because I always get disappointed.
Well, okay, here's the thing. It's good to remember that a dream does not equal perfection. Because perfection is...
It's not true.
Impossible.
It's impossible.
It's unrealistic. Nobody is perfect. We all have flaws.
Excuse me.
But I would say...
I just burped into the microphone.
It's okay. I would say... I'm really hot. Dream is...
Oh my gosh. Look at the way I'm sitting.
Dream is equivalent to loving despite flaws.
Yeah, you know, there was something I read... or something I watched. It was like a reel. And it was like, to love is to be disappointed.
Interesting.
Because no matter, like, let's say you love someone, you'll always be disappointed.
That's true.
You'll always be disappointed. And so to love is to be disappointed. And you have to accept that.
It's true.
Yeah. Because we're imperfect.
Exactly. And we're dealing with imperfect beings. But you have to remember, too, it's the reciprocal.
Yeah.
Like... You being someone's dream woman means that they're going to have to love you despite your flaws as well. But also that's unconditional love.
That's very true. Oh, why do I want to cry right now? Okay, anyway. We brought our list of our dream man. Well, obviously you are with your dream man.
Yes.
And I know he has flaws. And
that he does. But I do too.
I do see them. I see them sometimes.
I love them though. I mean, sometimes I get frustrated.
Sometimes I get frustrated with them. When I'm hanging out with both of you guys. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, I love you. So cute. No, okay. Yes. But I know I frustrate him as well.
Do you? I think you're perfect. So.
You know what's so funny?
What?
Okay, because we changed our status on Facebook. I don't use Facebook only when it like equates to him.
Okay.
Right? Or only if it does to him, not equates, but only like for him. Do I ever look at Facebook? Or if I'm like curious, right?
Yeah.
About something. And so we changed our status to engaged.
Aww.
And I looked at like my profile picture and you literally commented the most perfect being. Aww. And you were like, I forget what else you commented, but I was like, Catherine loves me.
It's because you are the perfect being.
I'm really not.
If I could marry a woman, I would marry you. I know, I genuinely, and you know that about me. Yeah. You know how you know I fucking love you, bitch.
I love you too.
Anyway, our dream man. So if you're on YouTube, you can see my list.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe she's showing this.
But my list is...
For a second, I thought you had a second page.
No, this is what
Mine is not even that detailed. Wait, can I read it?
Yeah, well, okay, we'll discuss it.
Okay.
We'll discuss it. Do you want to start first?
Sure. Mine is literally hers compared to mine. Hers compared to mine.
Well, I'm not asking for a lot. Well, obviously this looks like no, I swear.
No, I believe you.
But
I believe you.
I'm just, the main things that I'm looking for are there.
Yes.
And I've underlined them. Okay.
You underlined them. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have priorities.
I have priorities. The other ones that I can just, like... Okay, go on. You go first. My armpits are sweating. I did not put deodorant on.
I am so hot right now.
My house gets really hot. Okay.
It is really hot in here. Okay. So should I just list?
No, just tell me a couple of the ones that you have, and then.
Okay, should I give you like most important?
Oh, you know what we should talk about? How to even start this list anyway.
That's true. Okay, so the whole reason why this came up,
Yeah,
is because my parents do a lot of counseling.
her parents are my pastors.
Yes. They counseled Kat. They counseled. I have witnessed them counsel many people.
And they have helped me through every breakup that I've been in.
But one thing that both of us have gathered from said counseling is that we are somebody's
person. We're rib cage. We're ribs.
We're a rib to a rib cage.
We are ribs to rib cages.
As Eve was made from Adam's rib.
Yes.
Right?
As, they're side by side instead of higher, lower, whatever.
Exactly.
We're equal in value.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So, with that being said, there's somebody that God has made
perfectly from the rib cage.
Exactly. So we are rib to a rib cage.
Yeah. And it's I want to also express that this is between souls. This is not the physical being of a person, the body of a person.
Yes.
We are connected by souls.
Yes.
I have another story to tell about that, but if that one soul does not follow its duty or its whatever, the honor gets bestowed to someone else. And that's happened to me, if you guys are curious. It has happened to me. I am not with my original ribcage, and that's fine. Yeah. That's perfectly fine because I know who God has for me, and that's perfectly fine.
Again, either way, you end up victorious. But we digress. So
you get touchy when you're drunk.
I'm not drunk.
Okay, go on.
Okay, so the whole point was.
Yes.
I've heard my parents tell you other people that when you're looking for, it's so hot in here. It's okay. When you're looking for your, we'll say soulmate, right? Yeah. Your rib cage, your rib. Make a list.
Keep going.
Make a list of what you want, what you don't want. Thank you so much. So sorry. I already run warm.
You do.
Okay. Make a list of what you want, what you don't.
What you don't want. And God knows this list.
Yes.
God knows this list.
Yes.
He sees it. He knows it in your heart already.
Yes, because he knows your heart.
But it's also good to express it physically, whether you saying it or you writing it down.
Exactly.
And I remember when your parents first told me this, they were like, write a list. And when that man comes in, see.
Does he check off everything? Yes. And you know what's so funny? I've even heard like my aunt talk about her list.
Really?
She's like, he checked like half the boxes.
And that's not her ribcage.
Or he checked every box but this one.
But you know what's crazy? I didn't know, and this is what I just discovered, and you and I just discovered this together, that I wrote this down and I had my ribcage with me, but he didn't fulfill everything.
Sometimes
they don't come full.
At that time,
they just need to be in the microwave a little more.
Yeah, sometimes they're not fully cooked. Sometimes they're not completely ready for you.
Yeah, they still need to be in the incubator.
And you know what's so funny? James and I talk about that sometimes because I'm like, oh, you should have met me in high school. Like you should have met me at college. Like things would have been so much easier for, the reasons.
X, Y, and Z.
Yes, things would have been so much easier. We'd probably be married already, blah, blah, blah. But he will then tell me, you would have hated me. You wouldn't have liked me like that.
That's probably true. No, I like your fiance. He and I, it's a long road. But
yes. Okay, no, you guys have come a long way. But it's like, I think about it because he'd say, I was like this, I was like that, I was like this. And I'm like, I feel like I've pretty much stayed constant. Yeah. But also, I do know that there are certain like very important ways that I have changed as I've gotten older. But personality-wise, I've stayed constant.
You know what's crazy? What? I've known you as a single woman looking for someone to date, and I've
so single.
No. But I've also known you as a girlfriend. I've known you as a fiance. And I literally have seen such a crazy difference.
Really?
No, I swear.
No, I'm gonna cry.
Of how you are, like, I guess without someone. But I see how you are with with him. Like when we went to the beach the other day, and I didn't tell you, but I took a couple pictures of you guys, like while you guys were away. And I think that was when I realized, I was like, she's with her person. And I was so happy for you. I was so happy for you.
I'm gonna cry.
I literally saw you guys and I was like, I'm so happy for her. Why do I want to marry her? We're supposed to be talking about her dream man.
I mean, we are, but like, it's true. Like we've changed. I mean, I've seen you with different
men
as well.
Boys, let's talk about boys.
You know, and it's like the way you were with your first boyfriend was so different from how you were with your
last one.
Your second one, like the
I've
last
only had
one.
2 actually.
Yeah, technically you've only had 2. But it's still a big difference because the role you had in your first relationship is like the exact opposite of the role you had in your second relationship.
And it's crazy because every time I date someone new, I change this list.
But that's the whole beauty of dating.
Yeah. Fundamentally, it's pretty similar.
Yes.
But there are little things, little tweaks here and there that I'm like, ooh, I didn't like that about that one guy. Let me write this down. I want him to be this.
Yes.
I want him to be like this.
Yes.
And I'm single right now, as you all know. And no matter how much I beg or plead, I am dating Jesus right now. I only want to be dating Jesus. And no matter how much I beg and plead, I am single as a Pringle.
Yes.
Yes. And I like that. That's what I need right now.
Yes. I think everyone has to go through that
phase where you're just isolated.
Yeah.
And just with Jesus.
Yes, because then you get to, like, obviously, like, we were both single in high school, right? So you're single throughout high school, you get into a relationship, right? So then you start to change as a person because of the relationship, right? You pick up some of the characteristics of the person you're dating, whatnot. But then when you get out of that relationship, you change again.
Yeah.
And then it's like, but also as you grow older, certain things start to become priorities to you that weren't priorities to you as you were in like high school, for example. So what was on this list should change because as you get older, you start to develop different priorities. Certain things become more important to you.
Right.
Exactly. You start to value things more.
Mm-hmm. Your morals change. Your values change. A lot of it changes.
Exactly. So the fact that this list has remained constant, but also changed in terms of like detail.
Yeah.
It's perfectly normal. But also that's the beauty of dating.
Right.
That is the whole purpose
of dating. You see what you like and you see what you don't like. And I like how we still haven't talked about our dream man.
It's okay, we're getting there. Because the whole point is I've told one of our other friends this. You know.
I actually don't know who you're talking about. But it's okay, just keep talking. I'll probably follow along.
Because I met my fiance on a dating app. But obviously I didn't have many prospects before him. In terms of like high school, I didn't date anyone straight out of high school. When I was in college, I didn't really date.
Yeah.
But like after or like towards the end of college, that's when I started to put myself out there more. And I mean, the first one I went out with was a clear like, okay, I had this whole idea of what a relationship should be, of what a man should be, of what I wanted to be as a girlfriend. Like,
you know what? I've fallen into that trap. Keep going.
Yeah, but he showed me, see, like, even though
that first guy showed you.
The first guy didn't end well.
Yeah.
But he snapped me into reality. You know what I mean? Because I realized that I was just like this.
You're fantasizing over this relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what was happening.
Because you were searching for it for so long that, oh my God, it's finally here. It's finally here. And you're like, what the fudge? This isn't what I friggin' signed up for.
Exactly. But also, even though, like, he wasn't going to give me what I wanted, I knew myself enough, and I was luckily stubborn enough to know that just because, like, he was offering me something else, but that wasn't what I wanted.
Yeah.
So because it wasn't what I wanted and what I felt like I needed,
severed.
Gone.
And that's good. And you know what? You have such a good gift in doing that. You're really good at doing that. And I wish I had that attribute.
I mean, it was hard. Like, after I would be texting my cousin.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh,
I kind of miss him. Oh, that's good.
Let's be honest, I missed the attention. Because also after that, I realized I was like, I'm not going to find what I wanted.
Right.
On a dating app. I wanted to meet someone organically.
You found your fiance.
I found my fiance. Yeah. But anyways, the point was, I was like, is he going to come back? Is he going to do this? Is he going to do that? And she was all like, I wouldn't be surprised if he did, but also if he doesn't, like, don't be disappointed. Right. She's like, put yourself out there again. Yeah. Like, it
was your first guy anyway.
Exactly. She was like, just the first one I acted upon. Mm-hmm. But she was all like, figure out what you want. Right. Figure out what you don't want. Maybe stop being so extremely picky, because I was.
See, that's what I'm scared of.
I was very picky. Mm-hmm. But also, you need to be picky because you need to have standards.
Set boundaries.
You need to set your boundaries. But I think there's a difference between being picky and being unrealistic.
Yeah, because no man is perfect.
Exactly.
You have to understand that, like, whoever is listening and looking for advice from us, you have to understand. And that's something that I feel like I had to understand being with my last boyfriend. Mm-hmm. You know, I still have so much love for him. We aren't together anymore. But he wasn't perfect. He had flaws, but I don't want to cry. He had flaws too.
Yeah.
He had flaws, and he accepted me for who I was. Mm-hmm. I feel like during my breakup before him, mm-hmm. I got molded into a version where I didn't really particularly like men. And so that kind of unfortunately rubbed onto the relationship. And I came into the relationship like, ooh, I'm a boss bitch. Ooh, excuse me, I can drop you any second.
There's nothing wrong with that, but continue.
You have to be healthy, though.
Yes.
It has to be healthy.
It's all about balance.
You can have that mentality, but you have to be healthy about it. You have to look like, okay, you can't trust this. You can't fully give your whole heart to this man like you did in your first relationship. But look at, this man isn't who your first boyfriend was. You have to understand that. This man isn't who he was.
Exactly.
And this man shows you. There's a difference between him telling you what he feels versus him showing you how you feel. How he feels, I mean.
Exactly.
I think we should start talking about the list.
Okay, let's get into it. My phone.
I think that took like, 20 minutes?
Let's see. Let me look at 17.
Yeah, around 20 minutes.
We're good.
But I guess I maybe if I can start first.
Okay, go ahead.
Absolutely the first thing that I need in a man, he needs to love Jesus.
Oh,
He needs to put God, I'm sorry, I touched the mic. He needs to put God first.
Yes.
Before anyone, before me,
yes.
Before his family, before our children. He absolutely needs to put God first. That is an, what's that called? That's yes or no.
Non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable. He needs to absolutely love God with all his heart and truly pursue God and love him and put him first before anything else, because it says so in the Bible. I don't know if it says in the Bible. But it says...
Well, I think you would be referring to being evenly yoked.
No. I'm talking about that. But also, he sees... I think it talks about the Bible about like how he puts his wife first, or he sees the wife as how God saw the church, how he put the church first.
Well, because God is the groom first. And the church is the bride.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so that's my first one. I think that's both of our are on the list.
Yes.
The second one on my list, good credit score. Because I need to make sure he is responsible. A good credit score, I don't care how much you make.
That's on trauma. Go on.
It is on trauma. I don't care how much you make. I genuinely don't. Uh-huh. You can be having the lowest job, working at this lower level job, or a highest level job. But I need to make sure that you're responsible enough to pay off your debt. I need to make sure you're responsible enough to pay your bills. And if you're not responsible enough to pay your bills, you have a low credit score. Yes. I need to know, first date, what's your credit score? 800 or above or no? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay, so go ahead.
So mine would be also loves God.
Yes.
Chris is God first.
Yes.
Right? For me, you talked about your trauma with the credit score. Mine, I need patience. I need a lot of patience. Not just because I feel like being in my relationship now, sometimes I do feel like maybe I'm a lot to handle.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And I've told you this.
Yeah.
Like, he's so patient with me.
Right, he is, and I see that.
He's so incredibly patient with me. I want to cry. And I think it's because, not that I thought, but I had that before him.
Mm-hmm. It's a new level of patience. No, I see how he is.
Because I've experienced patience in my life, but I think for a man, it's just something I don't usually
It's so different.
expect. And so patience was like Jesus, and then patience.
Wow.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
because I don't want to feel like I'm walking on eggshells. I don't want to feel like I'm constantly doing something wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
That's speaking on trauma right there.
I'm not going to cry. So we're getting so vulnerable so fast.
You guys don't use this against us. But if you do, I'll fuck you up. I'm a fighter.
She's joking.
I
but-
threatened her fiance. Go on.
Too many times.
But it's just because I love you too much.
I know. But that was like my 1A, or like my straight number 2.
Like so close to very number 1.
Yes.
Is patience.
And God first is only because I love Jesus.
Yeah. And but okay, that's like the double standard that we have. I don't know if it's a double standard. I don't know my definitions. But it's also like a man having a list for us.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure that my dream man would love for their dream woman to love God first, to put God first.
Yes.
And also, I think that's another thing that you have to understand is I feel like the list that you also have to have attributes like this.
Yes.
Because in order for them to have it, you also have to understand
You
how
have
it
to
is.
express it.
You have to express it and experience it yourself.
Yes.
How are you going to have the spirit of patience if you're not patient yourself?
Exactly.
Can I get a man up there or something? But it's true.
No,
how
it
are
is
you
true.
supposed to have a good credit score if you don't? I'm just kidding.
How can I expect my husband to be financially responsible if I'm not financially
No,
responsible?
but it's true. It's so true. Another thing that I really want in a man, and I wrote it down, is he makes me laugh like no other person.
Oh, same.
But emotionally funny. I'm sorry, intelligently funny.
Yes.
He, like the banter that you and I were talking about.
Yes.
If I want to be
banter's
sarcastic,
my favorite thing ever.
I just think that he needs to understand, like, sarcasm.
Yes.
He needs to understand sarcasm. And if he doesn't, that's fine too. But as long as you're emotionally intelligent and you just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I think that shit is so sexy.
No, it is.
I think it's so hot.
Wittiness and like
wittiness.
cleverness is...
Yeah. I think that is
I
so
completely
sexy
agree.
in a man.
I literally had that exact conversation, like brief conversation with my cousin.
Yeah.
One of the times it was just like her and I, and
Yeah.
like her boyfriend wasn't home. And I was like, there's nothing like good banter.
Yeah.
I want to say it like a British, like banter. Like if I'm on Love Island.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like there's nothing like good banter.
Good banter.
Because, the second guy I dated after the first one that like gave me the reality check I needed.
Yeah.
That's what I realized. I was like, I need someone who's...
Like, I was kind of boring too.
He was.
Yeah.
And I don't
Who wants to be with a boring person?
I don't...
If you want to live a boring life, go ahead, girl. I'm sorry. Sorry for you, girl.
I never want to think... Well, I never like or try to see myself as better than anyone. Especially when it comes to intelligence. Like, I hate egos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I try my best not to have an ego. But when I would talk to him, I was just like... So after he left the picture, after Mr. Number 2 left the picture, I was all like, literally, I was telling everyone, I go, I need someone who not only does
keep up,
not only does he stimulate me like, oh my gosh, so attractive, like physically, but he's got to work Miss Brain
intelligently, right?
You know what I mean? Like he's got to, and that's what banter does.
Yeah, yeah.
It stimulates your brain.
another thing that I need in a man, and you know this, coming from experience, and she knows this, and every single one of my boyfriends that I've had, actually I've only had 2, but I've dated a couple of guys here and there, and the guys that have had this characteristic have stuck into my brain, but they need to be ambitious. They need to have that drive.
Yeah.
They have to have that mentality of, I need to keep going. Because I'm like that. You know that about me.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, I'm doing like a million things right now.
Yeah, sometimes she spreads herself a little too thin.
I do spread
And I'm like, Catherine, you need to pump the brakes a little bit.
No, I don't. I'm not talking on generational trauma. But I do spread myself out thin. That's something I do agree in. But I need a man. I mean, maybe it might be good for a man that will calm me down, but I don't find that attractive. I don't find that attractive, a man that's just stagnant.
Well, you know what? I think what you need, and I think you have, actually, I think you do have a pretty good
Balance?
Sense of this.
Okay.
In terms of a work-life balance. And I say that because anytime, like when you were in your relationship and not in a relationship, you are very much a person that finds time.
Right, I do.
Like, and we talk
what's
about,
important to me.
Yes, and that's how you know something's important to someone. Yeah. Because like if I asked you, you were still dating your boyfriend, right? And you were working. Yeah. I'd be like, hey, you want to hang out? You would find time for me.
Well, yeah, because I love you.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's my point. I think there's nothing wrong with ambition, but being a workaholic can be a detriment.
And the first man I truly like, not cheese dick, we call him cheese dick. But the first man, you know who I'm talking about.
Good code name.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
He was a workaholic. He absolutely worked all the time, but I think it's because he was running away from his trauma.
And you know what? That's exactly what workaholics tend to do.
Yeah. And that's how you get dethroned as a ribcage. But I digress. I digress. But I learned that from him, though. Ever since after I stopped dating him, I think I wanted to win him back so much. This was the past. This was like 4 years ago. But I wanted to win him back so badly that I became a workaholic myself. And then I adopted his attributes. I adopted his personality. And I did that same thing. And then ever since he happened, I started becoming a workaholic where I was working. And I don't mean working as in working for a paycheck like every day, as in
but you were doing something.
I never...
You were always busy.
If you see me, I'm never on the couch. Well, you see me sometimes, but you get what I'm saying?
We're on the couch together.
Right now. But I'm always I have ambition. And I think that's so important in a man, because if your man does not have something he looks forward to every day, he doesn't have purpose.
Yes.
And why would you want a man who doesn't have purpose, right?
Yeah. No, I completely
agree. I think that
agree.
is so unattractive in a man that stays so stagnant. Because what happens with stagnant water? It goes bad.
Yeah, and draws mosquitoes.
And
I hate mosquitoes.
And there's nothing to grow from that. Running water, it says so in the Bible. Right? Yeah. Does it? I don't know. Does it? If not, no. My pits are sweaty. But I think that's so attractive in a man. A man that I don't even have to tell him, hey, honey, I think you should apply for this job. Honey, I think you're kind of getting a little, stagnant in this position. I think you should do this. Yeah. I should not have to tell my man to do this. I shouldn't have to tell my mom, for trauma. I shouldn't have to tell my man to get a job. Yeah. I shouldn't have to tell my man, go to the gym. I shouldn't have to tell my man, do this for me. I shouldn't have to tell my man, do this for himself. Yeah. I shouldn't. That is his job. As a man, as a leader, it says in the Bible that the man is the head. Yeah. As the head.
You know what, though?
What?
I always tell my fiance this. You may be the head, but I'm the neck.
And the neck controls.
Turns.
But it's true,
Thank you, my big fat Greek wedding.
But it is true.
No, it is true.
Why would you want to be with a man that has no goals, and you're the only one? Like, let's say 10 years down the line, you see, oh, he's still there. Oh, he's still doing this. I think that, yeah. My first ex-boyfriend, he's still working at the same place that he and I used to work at almost 10 years ago. And that's just, I'm sorry. That's all I'm going to say on that. I'm saying I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm sorry. You guys tell me.
I need someone who's a good listener. I feel, I think it's because I'm just partially surrounded by deaf people.
I am one of them.
But I always find myself in situations I'm like, I literally said that.
Yeah.
I don't know, X amount of time before.
But I feel like your fiance does that a lot.
He does.
Sometimes I listen to your conversations and I'm like, she just said it. Like, what do you mean?
But you know what, though? Also, one, that he does listen to me. Mm-hmm. He listens to me, especially most when it matters. Like, okay. I will give him that. But also, I think I've come to the conclusion that with most people, they just got to come to that on their own. Like, I'll say something that I see already happening, and then they'll be like, wait, this, and I'm like, I literally just told you that.
I've heard you say that too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I literally just told you that, and I don't know what it is or why I'm able to tell ahead of time, you know? But even like, okay, for example, with my mother, you know how when you called me like a week or two ago and I was crying because she was arguing with my cousin?
Yeah.
I literally, what happened, I already knew was going to happen if either one of them kept pushing the issue. You know what I mean?
And they did.
And so when we were going back home, my mother was upset, and I'm like, this is exactly why I told you not to push the issue.
Not to continue it, right.
Because one, it's not worth it. And two, like, I already knew this was going to be the outcome.
Yeah.
Because I know both of you, you know? Like, I know how she feels on this
Y'all bitches should have listened to me.
Literally, it was a very I told you so moment, you know? And they're fine now, and which makes me happy. But also, it's just like, sometimes I'm like, just freaking
listen.
I'm not pulling this shit out of my ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm hyper aware of things. So it's like, I could see it happening before it happens. So if you would just...
You're like, bitch, stop. Just stop talking.
I'm just like, if you would just listen, you would come to this conclusion before, when it really would help you, when it would be beneficial for you, so that way you don't have to face the outcome after.
And they did.
But I need a good listener. And my fiance is a good listener. Sometimes it's just, but he's human. He's not perfect.
And he's
I'm not
questionably autistic.
I love him.
Okay, can I say something? So there's this TikTok that I saw, and I absolutely, like, it stuck to me, right? And it was this guy, and he was saying there are 4 things that your man of God should protect. Be a protector by. Because I think that's my next thing is he needs to be a protector. But not only protector with one aspect, but he needs to be a protector in specifically 4 aspects. 1, physical.
Yes.
He obviously needs to be, in case of an emergency, in case of something happens, you guys are walking down the street, some guy cat calls you, whatever. And it's happened to me before. It's literally the last time I think he and I went out. We went out to a bar, and I told him, I was like, hey, that guy's gonna come up to me. That guy's gonna come up to me. And I knew this guy was kind of eyeing at me at the bar. And I was like, he's gonna come up to me, watch. And he walked to the bathroom, the person that I was seeing, he went to the restroom. And as soon as he walked away, this guy comes up to me. He's like, hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. What's your name? And I was like, hi. And before I could even say my name, he comes back around. And I said, what did I say? But I need, 1 is a protector. 2, he needs to be spiritually a protector as well. Yes. Spiritually, he needs, in case I'm coming up with a problem, I have a problem, he needs to be the one to tell me, hey, you should pray about that. Let's pray about this together. He needs to give me, he's a leader. He's the leader of the family. He needs to be the one to tell me, hey, I think this is something we should pray about. I think, oh God, I would be ovulating if somebody would tell me that. I'll fucking ovulate. I don't care.
On the spot.
Yes. 3.
Who cares about a cycle?
3. Emotionally.
Yes.
Emotionally. And I think I've had trouble with this in men. My last ex-boyfriend, he was a good man emotionally. He was completely there emotionally. I don't think the rest of the 3, but he was so there emotionally. But I need a man who protects emotionally as well. Someone who sees me crying and doesn't exacerbate it, who doesn't continue the issue. I can't have that. because, you know, you and I are both emotional.
Yeah.
You know, we cry a lot. I was crying to you last week on the phone.
I was literally crying the other day for no apparent reason, just because I saw a TikTok.
But we need men who will help us.
Yes.
Not regulate, because that's our job too. But a man that will be like, okay, you know, she's emotional right now.
Maybe I should.
Yeah.
It's not worth pushing the issue.
Right.
When she's already at a breaking point, so to say. Like, she's already reached an emotional, like,
Threshold.
breaking point.
Yeah.
Threshold. Like, let's just take a step back. Time to let her process. Time to clear my head.
Just chill.
Just wait till we're both a little bit.
Right.
Even if he's not necessarily worked up.
Yeah. But I think my last relationship, I think I need a man who's emotionally there. I can't have emotionally constipated people anymore. I've had 2 of those. And I didn't date. I didn't like, they both were not my boyfriends.
Yeah.
But both men, they just were emotionally constipated, and I can't have that anymore. I need a man, because at that point I was like, give me more. Like, at that point you knew that, because I told you everything, you know?
Yeah.
And I think you're the only person I told everything to. But I was like, I was yearning, and I was searching, and I was like, I need more from you.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even asking for a lot. I was just like, let me in just a little, because I love you.
Yeah.
You know, I love you. I want a piece of your heart. But you won't let me. You won't open up to me. And I desperately I needed that to feel my importance as a woman, to feel my importance in the role as your girlfriend or the person that you're dating. I need to know I'm important. Let me in.
Yes.
And he wouldn't let me in. And neither was the first one. He didn't let me in. And, okay, sorry. Going on. Got a little vulnerable there. The 4th one is he needs to be financially a protector. And we're not saying that he doesn't have to, whatever. Like, I just need to make sure that this man is not lazy. That just shows me he can still provide. I'm not saying provide for most of it, but if I ever needed something, or if I were ever to wish for something, I don't know if I'm saying correctly.
No,
I just don't need a lazy man.
No, I understand.
Stagnant lazy man. Because my last relationship, I'm not trying to trash talk him, but financially he wasn't really fully there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
I have protective too. Ooh,
Protector.
you know what's my next one? Faithful.
Amen. Thank you, Jesus. You know what? Jesus is the most perfect example of a faithful man.
That he is.
He is loyal.
That he is.
And he is faithful.
That he is.
I love you, Jesus.
I always like to say I'm a loyal hoe. You know this.
Yes.
There is nothing, maybe I shouldn't say nothing, but loyalty or faithfulness, fidelity itself is
So important.
That's one of my biggest fears, let's be honest. And that's just not even on really like my own trauma. It's just like almost secondhand trauma. And
Yeah.
but that is probably, honestly, I said it after Good Listener, but that's probably like number 3 for me. Like, I need someone who's faithful, who's loyal, because
It's trust.
yes,
It's
if I
trust.
could trust you. And I always, like, I told my fiance when we first started dating, I go, I trust you until you give me a reason not to trust you,
Right.
you know? But almost like once you give me a reason, like,
That's it. The trust is broken.
and for me personally, because you and I have had this conversation, like, because of what I've witnessed, and like, I've had to go through repercussions almost secondhand
Repercussions, yeah.
when trust is broken. Like, I know that's something I could never really come back from, or it would take a lot
It's so hard.
for me to come back from
It's
it.
so hard, yeah.
So loyalty, faithfulness, fidelity, I need that.
Yeah, I think that's really, obviously, one of the pillars of every successful marriage is that trust, is that fidelity,
Yes,
right?
'cause that's the whole point.
That's the whole point,
That's the whole
of
point
a
of marriage.
relationship.
You're deciding to be monogamous.
Yeah.
You're deciding.
You both come into agreement of monogamy.
Yes, it's a vow.
Yeah, it's
you
a
know?
vow.
It's a vow. And what cheating is defined as is dependent on the person. But I think that's a good conversation to have.
Right.
You know, like, what do you deem or determine is cheating? What do
Yeah.
I determine is cheating? Do they line up?
You know what I think it is? Sorry, go ahead. You keep going.
Well, I think it's good to be on the same page.
Yeah, yes. And I think if your partner doesn't want you doing that, that's cheating. It's simple.
agree.
Simple as that. If you're hiding something from your partner, and I've had my issues in the past with me personally, and you know this.
Yeah.
And my ex has as well. And, you know, I'm growing as a person. I'm sure he's growing as a person. I don't know. But that's something that we always grow to. But like you said, with everything that goes on, our values change, our morals change. Mm-hmm. It doesn't excuse the past. It doesn't excuse you as a person, but you grow as a person. Right?
Yeah.
I think another thing that for me is I need someone supportive. I have obviously a lot of dreams. I have a lot of things going. I need a man that can be, big thing, insecurity. I absolutely cannot. I cannot have an insecure man. That is a big thing for me.
Yeah.
I wish you guys knew how much of an issue it is for me. And you know how much of an issue it is for me. Yeah. How much of a turnoff it is for me to be with such an insecure man. Yeah. I need a man so secure that I don't even know if scenario.
Well, I think that goes hand in hand with the trust. Because when you trust somebody, you can be secure in the relationship. Yeah. But also, I think that's trust, and that's also a self-esteem issue.
Oh, yeah.
Because,
self-esteem.
Like, if you don't have a high self-esteem or if you don't have that self-confidence, then you're just going to constantly think, like, I'm not good enough for them. Of course she'd want to leave me. What if she finds someone better?
Right.
What if he finds someone better? What if he sees a girl that's prettier than me? What if he sees a girl that's hotter than me?
Yeah.
Like,
and I had a lot of issues of that in the past. And I realized, oh, God, that is such a huge turnoff. And I think in my previous relationship, like I said, I have a lot of love for him. Mm-hmm. But I also think that I added to his low self-esteem just because I hated men. And I take responsibility for that. I've told him this the last time we talked, which was a couple months ago. I take responsibility for his low self-esteem, partly. But a lot of that also, even before a lot of shit happened, before shit hit the fan, he didn't us coming into the relationship, he didn't have good self-esteem.
Yeah.
He really didn't. And I saw that, and I saw that as weaker, and it kind of just snowballed. Mm-hmm. But I need a man that's secure. I think that's one of my biggest icks is an insecure man. I cannot. Another thing is I need to make sure he's a good father.
I feel like that's
good father, good teammate. And I think that's the only reason why I'll only date fighters. Maybe. Because I know if you're in a team, or not even fighters, or just like people who know what camaraderie is, know what team is like, I need a good teammate.
Yeah.
I need to make sure that you don't believe in divorce, because I don't fucking believe in divorce.
Same.
I ain't divorcing you. You ain't divorcing me.
Once we're in it, it's over.
It's one and done.
I say, till death do us part.
Till even after death, bitch.
No. I tell my fiance, I will haunt you.
Yeah,
If you ever think, this goes past death.
Yeah, it does. It's true. I need a good father and I need a good teammate.
Yes.
A man that has good integrity.
Because overall, your husband should be your best friend.
Your teammate, your ally. Mm-hmm. Your person in WWE. If you're in 2 versus 2.
My fiance likes to say, because he's a big fan of Lord of the Rings, so he likes Tolkien.
I don't know what that is.
He's the one who wrote the Lord of the Rings books.
Oh, okay, the author.
But Tolkien said that your partner is your partner in shipwreck.
Yeah, in case your ship gets wrecked, bitch, who the fuck are you gonna call?
Yeah, you gotta repair those sails together.
Yeah.
You gotta steer together.
And you know what's
gotta
so
do
crazy?
everything.
This is only for the people who watch us on YouTube. I wish on Spotify they could see it, but how your parents describe it to me is, these are my knuckles. I'm making a fist right now for those who don't see. The high points of your knuckles are your strengths, and the low points of your knuckles are your weaknesses.
Yes.
And when you put another hand together, hold hand in hand,
They
fill your strengths. They fill your weaknesses with their strengths, and you fill your strengths with their weaknesses.
Exactly.
And that's how it should be.
Exactly. We are at...
Oh, shit. We should probably... Maybe we should make a second video of this one
Maybe
day.
we'll do a part 2.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I feel like I talked way too much.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
I think we got into some good stuff.
I think we definitely hit the big points.
Yes.
We hit the big points. But yeah. Yeah. This was a good video. I hope you guys... did we even give advice?
I think we did.
Yeah.
Write
a list, girl.
That whole thing. Write your list. There's nothing wrong with dating around a little bit. Mm-hmm. Figuring out what you want and what you don't want. Mm-hmm. Knocking yourself into a reality if you need it.
Yeah.
Like I did.
Just as long as you don't, no slut shaming, but just don't kiss too many frogs. Don't follow my footsteps.
Just be picky, but don't be unrealistically picky. Have some core standards that you... Non-negotiables.
Have some non-negotiables. And if that man that you're dating goes over that boundary of that non-negotiable, cut that off. Sever that shit. Because as long as you keep adding to that relationship that you know is bad for you, oh, girl,
you're just going to become emotionally attached. And then you could develop a topic for another
soul
conversation.
tie.
A soul tie.
Even without having sex with them.
And then it could just be messy.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, should we close this in prayer? Maybe not. Anyway, we just hope that this video helped you in any way.
Yes.
Or even provided some sort of fun, some sort of
insight. Maybe you got a good laugh.
Yeah. We'll see. Anyway, just keep coming back.
Just keep coming. We're doxing ourselves for a second time.
Just keep coming. I think we have a lot to say. I'm excited for how this goes.
Yes,
And just keep coming. I think we have a lot to say. So, all right, guys, I hope you have a blessed couple of weeks or 2 weeks, 1 week. I don't know next time we post a video. But, yeah, we love you guys. Actually, we don't. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But we pray for whoever is listening.